going into the 10th chord, and it's I don't remember Toby Fox doing this in the first game. Hey music friends, this is Davi Vasc. I'm a music composer for games, and today we have a request from Patreon, and it's something that you Undertale fans have been asking for a while. So we're gonna listen to and talk about a track from Deltarune, and this one is Attack of the Killer Queen. And at this point I have played Undertale. I don't know anything about Deltarune though. I have seen it, and it looks kind of similar to Undertale, but that's about all I know. So yeah, I'm excited. Let's go. This is gonna break out into a... Yeah, exactly. It's gonna break out into a full rhythm. Very nice. This sounds like a boss thing. Oh, the harmony there. Very interesting. This caught my attention. It's just a small detail at the beginning, but this chord here. This is something that I talked about a lot in the Hollow Knight videos that I did. This is here on the channel what I call the almost 10th chord going into the 10th chord, and it's I don't remember Toby Fox doing this in the first game. It's not that uncommon, but it's interesting that he's doing this now, because this is a way to ease into tension. It's a more dramatic way of building tension. It sounds like drama, it sounds like fate. Very, very interesting. Oh, and something that I forgot to say, the only reason why I'm able to play these notes in my piano and it matches perfectly with the song here is because I had to detune my piano again. Remember on the, I think it was the Asgore video, I had to do the same thing, because sometimes, for some reason, Toby Fox composes these songs in notes that are not in the piano. He tunes his piano slightly, he tunes his samples slightly so that you can't find the notes in the piano. And in that video, in the Asgore video, I explained how there are, I talked about microtones, right? How there are micro little tiny notes in nature that you can't play on the piano. They are not in the piano, they are in between the notes of the piano. So in order to execute them, you have to detune your piano slightly in order to match the song. He's doing it again here in this song. So in the Asgore video, some people were saying, oh, maybe he did it unintentionally. Maybe his samples were tuned wrong and he just left it in. Of course not. A composer of the caliber of Toby Fox doesn't do that kind of stuff unintentionally, and he did it again here, which is another sign that it's intentional. The harmony on this part here is very cool as well. Check this out. So, very adventurous overall, adventurous harmony. This passage here from the first two chords, very adventurous, sounds very positive. In some parts here, on the third chord, he seems to be avoiding overly disturbing chords. This chord was not really supposed to be here. It was supposed to be this, which is a lot more disturbing. So he put a wrong chord here for the sake of, I think, for the sake of avoiding a disturbing chord. And that makes sense, of course, because Undertale itself, I mean, it had undertones of sadness and tragedy and negative emotion in the story, of course, but it was mostly a funny game that didn't take itself or anything very seriously. That seems to be the case, I'm guessing, with Deltarune as well. There is tension, of course, in the harmony, but is mostly very adventurous, and he seems to be avoiding very disturbing, very evil sounding, very sad chords. Okay, new part. Oh! The rhythm in this is so tight. Again. Awesome. So tight. Oh. Oh, a harpsichord it sounds like. Awesome. So there's some very interesting stuff going on here. There's something that sounds like a harpsichord, right? And these chords here, these chords to me, and the instrumentation as well, scream to me nobility, class. The harpsichord, of course, is very connected to the Baroque period and to a certain extent the classical period as well. And even the chords that they're using here are reminiscent of the Baroque period and the classical period. That, of course, gives the entire song a kind of vibe of class, of nobility, of sophistication. And it is, of course, perfect for royalty. And some of you guys, as sometimes you do, might think I'm a genius for figuring this out, and you're going crazy on the comments already. Oh my god, I can't believe he figured this out. But I would like to remind you that the title of the track says Attack of the Killer Queen. So to me is a very strong indication that maybe the boss that this track portrays is the killer queen, the queen. So it's very appropriate to have these kind of undertones of royalty, nobility here. And check this out, I'm gonna show you the kind of chords that they are using to convey that. So there's more to it going on here, but I'm mainly going to explain 3 or so chords here at the end. So it's these 3 here. This is a very, very common sequence in classical music, in Baroque music, and everyone does this when they want to portray that kind of old sophistication, that kind of nobility. And people in classical music, people in the like 1700s, they really liked what we call chords of strong function. And strong function, as the name suggests, are chords that are very obvious in what they do. They have very strong feeling, a very strong function, a very strong emotion in them, as opposed to other chords that have more nuanced and not as clear emotions. So here there's a chord building tension here, the second chord in the sequence, which is this. This chord wasn't really supposed to be here. The chord that was actually supposed to be here was this one, which also works for building tension, but it's not the best at building tension. And the classical guys don't like that. They want the best, the strongest chord to build tension. So they put a wrong chord here, which is this one. And then they resolve the tension. And that creates a very recognizable, you're gonna recognize this in a second. That sound, that sounds like classical music, right? That sound. Bum, 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 bum. So yeah, this is one of the things that he's doing here to portray that kind of royalty and old times sophistication. Oh. Oh, it's that part again. It's coming. I love this part. Oh. Oh, beautiful harmony. It's about to end. Oh, wait, what? Where's the... Where's... This track was suggested on Patreon by Certain Oddities. Hooray, Certain Oddities! And hey, you kinda look like the kind of person that likes to share the music from the games that they love with others. And if that's the case, I have here the video that I talked about on Asgore, and over here I have a bunch of other videos on Undertale music. So remember, whenever you're ready to spread your wings and go on a music journey again, I will see you there.